Ever wish you could just hit rewind on life? Try out some different paths.
No.
Well, today's deep dive, we're going to explore that very idea.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be delving into regret and
Right.
this mind-bending concept of like infinite possible lives.
Right.
And our guide for this journey is Matt Haig's The Midnight Library.
That's a great book for this topic. It's a captivating exploration of, well, really how regret can shape our perceptions and choices.
Yeah.
The main character, Nora Seed, she really embodies this whole struggle, grappling with a deep sense of disappointment with her life.
Yeah, Nora's at a real crossroads, like in this story.
Yeah.
She feels like she's failed at everything.
Right.
Abandoned, like her Olympic swimming dreams, a broken engagement, a music career that, never even took flight. Even her cat, Voltaire, has passed away.
Oh, no.
It's a lot to grapple with.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff. And this really profound sense of regret, it actually leads Nora to this fantastical place. It's called the Midnight Library.
Ooh.
And in this library, each book represents a different life she could have lived.
Wow.
Like, imagine a library filled with the potential of, like, countless what-if scenarios.
So it's kind of like a cosmic choose-your-own-adventure.
Yes, exactly.
But instead of just reading about these alternate realities, she gets to experience them, right?
Exactly. She steps right into them.
Wow.
And each life, it comes with its own set of, triumphs and challenges.
Of course.
Showing Nora, you see, there's no one perfect path.
Right, right.
So, for instance, she actually gets to experience the life of an Olympic swimmer.
Okay.
Achieving all the success her father always wanted for her.
So it sounds like a dream come true.
You would think so, right? But that's where it gets really interesting. See, achieving her dad's dream, it came at a cost.
Oh.
In this life, she realized she sacrificed her own passions and happiness. So it really makes you think, is achieving someone else's dream, truly fulfilling if it means giving up on your own?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a powerful point. It seems like the Midnight Library isn't just about escaping into like this fantasy world.
Right.
It's also about facing some pretty hard truths about ourselves and the choices that we make.
Absolutely. It's about confronting those tough questions. Another life Nora explores is running a pub with her ex-fiance, Dan. On the surface, it sounds pretty idyllic.
Yeah.
Fulfilling a dream they had together.
Right. So what was the catch?
Yeah.
It's always a catch, right?
Well, running the pub, it brought financial strain and, relationship challenges that she hadn't anticipated.
Ah.
It's a good reminder that even when we think we know what we want,
Yeah.
the reality of that life might be way different than our expectations.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got like the high-stakes world of Olympic sports and then the potential pitfalls of like running a business with someone you love. What other lives, what other kinds of lives does she dive into?
Well, there's one where she's a glaciologist.
Wow.
In Svalbard.
Oh, wow.
It's this remote archipelago in the Arctic.
I know Svalbard, yeah.
Yeah, so she's fulfilling this childhood dream surrounded by stunning nature.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, it is. But this path, it also comes with its challenges.
Like what? Was the wifey bad?
Well, maybe. But more importantly, it forces her to confront her own mortality.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she has this pretty terrifying encounter with a polar bear.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's a real wake-up call. Literally and figuratively, it makes her, step back and really reevaluate what truly matters.
So it's not just about finding, the perfect life. It's also about how different experiences can really shape our perspective and our priorities.
Exactly. Each life she tries, it offers valuable insights into, the complexities of choice and, the ripple effects of our decisions. And as she jumps between these lives, her understanding of her own regrets starts to shift.
I'm curious, how does that happen?
Whoa.
What causes that shift in her thinking?
She starts to realize that some of her deepest regrets might actually be based on faulty memories. Or assumptions.
Okay.
For instance, she revisits a life where her cat, Voltaire, dies no matter what she does.
Oh, wow.
This experience really shatters her belief that she could somehow prevented his death.
Yeah.
And it reveals a powerful truth about regret.
It sounds like she's learning that sometimes our perception of the past might not be completely accurate.
That's it.
What does that teach Nora about how she's been viewing her own life?
Well, you see...
Yeah, it's fascinating how our minds can create these narratives
right.
that feel so real and so powerful. yet they might not completely align with what actually happened.
Exact.
I know I've fallen into that trap myself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We all do. Memory is a tricky thing.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect recording of the past. It's filtered, through all our emotions and our biases and our current perspective.
Right.
And the Midnight Library, it really highlights this beautifully.
Yeah, so as Nora's exploring these alternate lives,
Yeah.
she encounters another character
Mm-hmm.
who's also a life slider.
Okay.
Someone who can also jump between different realities.
Interesting.
His name is Hugo Lefebvre.
Hugo. Huh.
What role does he play in Nora's journey?
Well, Hugo, he offers a fascinating perspective.
Mhm.
He claims there's a scientific explanation
Okay.
for their ability to jump between lives.
Oh, wow.
And he ties it to this concept in quantum physics
Okay.
called the many worlds interpretation.
Okay, hold on. So we're not just talking about like a fantastical concept here.
Right.
There's actual scientific theory behind this.
Well, that's what makes the novel so intriguing. You see the many worlds interpretation. It suggests that every choice we make splits the universe, creating these parallel worlds where all possible outcomes exist. So imagine countless versions of yourself, each living out different decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Does that idea make you feel a sense of freedom? Or perhaps a bit overwhelmed?
Honestly, both.
Yeah.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
I know, right?
But it definitely adds another layer to the whole idea of regret, doesn't it?
Right.
If every possible choice is being played out somewhere, then does it even matter which path we choose in this reality?
That's the question, isn't it? And that's what the novel really grapples with. Hugo, he seems to just revel in this concept, and embracing the endless novelty of experiencing all these different realities.
Yeah.
He sees it as liberating.
But that doesn't seem to be how Nora experiences it, right?
No, not at first, at least.
Yeah.
She finds this constant jumping between lives really disorienting and overwhelming.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She's searching for a sense of belonging and purpose, you
Correct.
see. Something that's harder to find when reality keeps shifting.
Yeah, for sure.
And it highlights, I think, this really interesting tension between the allure of infinite possibilities and then the human need for stability and connection.
It makes me think about that age-old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side.
Right.
Maybe it's less about the grass itself and more about our perception.
That's a great point. I wonder, do you think focusing on this perfect life
Yeah.
might actually blind us to the beauty and possibility that's already present in our own lives?
Mm-hmm.
The Midnight Library seems to suggest that that's a risk we run when we get so caught up in the what-ifs.
It's so true. I'm starting to understand how all these different lives Nora's experiencing are actually helping her to see her own life with more clarity and depth.
Exactly. You're getting to the heart of it, you see, while she's exploring these alternate realities.
Yeah.
Nora also has this wise guide, Mrs. Elm, the librarian.
Okay.
She observes Nora's journey and eventually gives her some pretty crucial advice.
What kind of advice does she give her?
Well, Mrs. Elm tells Nora to stop obsessing over, these grand alternative lives. And instead, she tells her to re-examine her root life.
For root life. Okay.
The one she originally wanted to leave behind.
Right.
She points out that Nora's been chasing, external validation and achievements instead of looking inward for meaning and purpose.
So it's not just about like the external circumstances.
Yeah.
It's also about our internal state.
Yes.
Our mindset.
Precisely. And to illustrate this point, Nora actually tries a life that seems very similar to her own.
Okay.
But this time, she makes different choices within that life.
Okay.
She reconnects with her brother. She pursues her passion for music. She finds love.
Wow.
It's a really powerful example of how we have the agency to shape our own happiness, regardless of the circumstances that we're given.
It sounds like she's discovering that happiness isn't about finding this perfect situation.
Right.
But about making choices that align with her values.
Yes.
And bring meaning to her life.
Exactly. And in this seemingly ordinary life, she finds this deep sense of contentment, love, and purpose.
Wow.
It's a beautiful reminder that we have the power to create fulfilling lives, even within, this messy reality that we inhabit. Sometimes it's less about finding a different life and more about finding ourselves within the life we have.
That's a really profound idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to hear more about this concept of the root life.
Yeah.
Especially in the context of the many worlds interpretation that we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like even with the potential for infinite lives,
right,
there's something special, something important about the life we actually inhabit. Yeah, it's almost like our root life is like this anchor point
right,
in this vast sea of possibilities.
Yeah.
The one reality where, like, our choices
Yeah.
have the most like immediate and tangible impact.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it. And it really brings us back to this whole concept of regret,
Yeah.
even with, all the potential for infinite lives. Like the many worlds interpretation suggests, we still experience regret in this reality,
Right.
the one that we're consciously navigating.
So how does the Midnight Library reconcile these seemingly contradictory ideas?
Yeah.
The existence of multiple realities and then the very real experience of regret in our own lives.
Well, I think it suggests that regret, while often painful, can actually be a powerful tool for growth and self-discovery.
Okay.
It can highlight our values, reveal our unmet needs, and really guide us towards making choices that are more aligned with our true selves.
So instead of viewing regret as like a sign of failure,
Right.
maybe we can see it as an opportunity to learn and evolve.
Exactly. It's about reframing regret, not as something to be buried or avoided,
Right.
but as a source of valuable information.
Yeah.
It can help us understand ourselves better and make, more conscious choices moving forward.
This makes me think about how Nora ultimately chooses to return to her root life.
Yeah.
Even after experiencing all these incredible alternate realities.
Right.
It wasn't about finding a perfect life, but about finding the potential within the life she already had.
That's such a powerful message, and it suggests that true fulfillment doesn't come from escaping our reality,
Right.
but from embracing it, imperfections. And all.
Yeah.
It's about making conscious choices, nurturing meaningful connections, and really finding joy in those everyday moments.
And perhaps most importantly, it's about accepting ourselves.
Yes.
With all our flaws and past mistakes.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing that we are worthy of love and happiness,
Yes.
regardless of, the paths we've taken.
Absolutely. And the Midnight Library doesn't shy away from, the darker aspects of human experience.
Right.
Nora faces challenges and setbacks,
Yeah.
even in these seemingly perfect lives.
Of course.
It's a reminder that life in any reality is a mix of, joy and sorrow, triumph and struggle.
It seems like the novel is saying that the real magic isn't in finding a life without problems, but in finding the strength and resilience to navigate those problems, to grow and learn from them.
And to find beauty and connection even in the midst of those challenges.
Right.
Remember Nora's experience as a glaciologist.
Yeah.
It was filled with awe-inspiring beauty, but also, terrifying danger.
That's right. Her encounter with the polar bear was such a powerful reminder of the fragility of life.
Yeah.
It made her realize that sometimes the most important thing isn't achieving some extraordinary goal, but simply appreciating the gift of being alive.
Exactly. And that appreciation can extend to all aspects of our lives,
Yeah.
Even the seemingly mundane,
Right.
the taste of a good cup of coffee, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the laughter of loved ones. These are the moments that really make up the richness of our experience.
The Midnight Library seems to invite us to kind of shift our focus,
Yeah.
to pay attention to those small wonders that often go unnoticed,
Right.
to find gratitude for the simple things that make life worth living.
And it reminds us that we're not alone in our struggles,
Right.
We are all connected, all part of this vast and intricate web of life.
The novel ends with a powerful line. We are as completely and utterly alive as we are in any other life and have access to the same emotional spectrum. What do you think Matt Haig is trying to convey with those words?
I think it's a call to embrace the fullness of our being, to recognize that we have within us the capacity for the entire range of human emotion. Joy, sorrow, love, fear, anger, compassion.
Right.
It's a reminder that, we are complex, multifaceted beings capable of experiencing life in all its depth and complexity.
And that no matter what path we find ourselves on,
Yeah.
we have the power to choose how we respond to the challenges and opportunities that come our way.
We have the power to create meaning, to find connection, to make a difference in the world no matter what reality we inhabit.
So to our listener, we leave you with this. The Midnight Library is an invitation to explore the possibilities within your own life, to reframe your regrets as opportunities for growth, and to embrace the beauty and wonder of the present moment. What choices will you make today, knowing that you have the power to shape your own reality? What regrets will you release, knowing that they may be holding you back from experiencing the fullness of your being? And what potential will you unlock, knowing that you are as completely and utterly alive as you are in any other life?